Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pulla and here's what we have in the bulletin.
Bodies of two children found in Monique, St. Anne. Explosive standoff in Tollgate, Clarendon. And later in sports, former Deputy BOJ Governor to chair PFJL.
Now the details. The bodies of two missing children were found in Swamp District, Monique, St. Anne, after a massive search this morning. The children ages 1 and 3 had been missing since last night. One was found in a lake behind a house and the other in a concrete structure. TVJ News understands their father is currently being questioned by the police. Details in this report. The mother of one of the children arrived to a blood-stained empty crib where they reportedly slept last night. She was in the company of the police who followed her to the premises after reporting that the father of the missing children had been acting strange after consuming ganja tea. The man was reportedly discovered in a semi-conscious state in a heavily vegetated area behind the house, but there were no signs of the children.
I say tragic. This is tragic, and I know the parties, and the young man is a nice young man that I even gave a recommendation for a job at the hotel, and he's doing very well. So something went wrong. I don't know what is this, but the community is in awe at this happening.
The search operation includes the St. Anne Operational Support Team and members of the Jamaica Defense Force and the JCF's K9 Division. Residents are deeply concerned.
You know, to be honest, it's unpredictable. You do not know what will happen, but you encourage people to stay close to each other and to bring, have a peace. That's the bottom line, to be at peace and to talk out their problems, talk about it and come to an amicable, agreement, or have people that you can run to. We must have people to talk to. But as I say, this is a sudden thing.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News. A high-level investigation is underway following the discovery of an explosive device at a business place in Tollgate, Clarendon. It was successfully detonated by experts from the Jamaica Defense Force. As you'll hear in this report, the drama unfolded following a dispute between an ex-soldier and a businessman. What started as an argument between a businessman and an ex-soldier quickly spiraled into a security crisis in Tollgate, Clarendon on Tuesday. According to reports, the incident erupted shortly after 1 p.m. at an auto shop where the two men got into a heated dispute. Tensions boiled over when the ex-soldier allegedly threatened to bomb the premises. The businessman responded by allegedly shooting him in the foot. The injured man was rushed to hospital where he remains in serious condition. Police, with the help of the JDF, upon searching the premises, discovered an explosive device. The main road was cordoned off, causing major traffic disruptions and forcing businesses in the area to temporarily shut their doors. A specially trained JDF bomb disposal unit was flown into the area via helicopter, sparking anxiety among residents and onlookers. After roughly 7 hours, a thunderous explosion ripped through the air as the experts detonated the device to safely neutralize the threat. The blast sent bystanders running in panic, but officials later confirmed it was part of a successful disposal operation. The remains of the device were collected for forensic analysis. No further injuries were reported and the area was declared safe. However, the incident has left the community shaken. Investigators by the JCF and JDF remain active as authorities work to determine the origin of the explosive device and what led to the confrontation. To some political news now, the opposition PNP says its proposed $3.5 million income tax threshold would take effect by April 2026 if it wins government. But questions remain how the PNP and the GLP intend to finance their promised tax cuts. Oshane Masters reports.
April 2026 is a timeline given by the opposition for the implementation of its proposed $3.5 million income tax threshold, but concerns still abound regarding funding. At the second of the national debate series, Shadow spokesman on finance Julian Robinson noted that if the PNP forms the next government, it will look at the programmatic budget to see what can be cut to implement the tax break.
No political party implements every single thing in 1 year. So we are going to ensure that the implementation is done, which protects the fiscal sacrifices that have been made and will ensure that the adjustments are consistent with the budget. So it's $55 billion that this particular program will cost. And in terms of the readjustment of programs, that is something that we will do once we get into office. When we look, we have priorities which are different from the current government's priorities. And we will make those adjustments within the envelope of $360 billion, which currently exists for programs in the budget.
As for the financing of a JLP's tax rate cut, Finance Minister Favour Williams gave this response.
Our number, based on the technocrats who did it, put it at between $25 to $30 billion. That's our number. That is doable.
The Minister of Finance is saying her estimate is 25 to 30 billion. She's applying the same Pro Box maths. That she said you can use $2,000 a month for buy a Pro Box. The most conservative estimate for their program to reduce the income tax rate is $68 billion. So where do you get your maths from?
Meanwhile, political scientist Jermaine McAlpin says there was much left to be desired in outlining how the reduction in the income tax threshold on both sides would be funded.
But I'm not convinced in terms of the structure of their plans and the feasibility, sustainability, the reliability of those plans, especially the funding mechanism. I really wanted to hear beyond the speeches, we're going to grow and that's where the money is going to come from.
I was never expecting any specifics on funding. If I heard it, I think it would have been irresponsible, because I think you have to get in and see what's in front of you before you start making those decisions.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
Ready to roll. That assurance from Transport Minister Darrell Vaz. This is after retrofitting the imported school buses from the U.S. to make them safer to transport students in rural Jamaica. Krista Campbell reports.
Transport Minister Darrell Vaz in southern Manchester on Tuesday, revving up the Jamaica Labour Party's campaign machinery ahead of Wednesday's general elections. Ian Ives is the JLP's candidate for Manchester Southern and Damien Young for Manchester Northwestern. Mr. Vaz insists voting their opponents into Parliament would be a travesty because the People's National Party opposes the rural bus system.
Just on Saturday night, no other than Damien Crawford indicated once again for about the third time that the PNP has said that they will disband the rural school bus system. So the people of Jamaica have a decision to make as to whether they want. They have already said in the polls that they overwhelmingly support it, so we look forward to their support for the election day.
55% of respondents in the recent RJR Gleaner Don Anderson poll said they would choose the rural bus system. 34% said they would prefer to have the PNP's proposed transportation subsidy of about $500 per day. With images and videos of the rural school bus system seemingly in limbo, the Transport Minister has given assurance that all the kinks have been fixed.
Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock at the office of the Prime Minister, we have the blessing of the first 60 buses before they go out, and they will be go out for school when it returns in full on the 8th of September. And the fact of the matter is that all retrofitting of the doors to the left-hand side have been completed, and also all tires changed, serviced, everything done, and we'll be rolling out 110 routes to 258 schools in the first phase.
The Transport Minister also met 16-year-old Anicia Allen, a grade 11 student at Bel-Air High who uses a wheelchair. She was asked to participate in a test run of the rural school bus system in Manchester last month.
58 routes, and then we moved to 122 routes across Jamaica between September and December. So what I'm going to find out now that I know where you are is exactly how and when you will be able to get service for school bus. And in the interim, depending on what the situation is, we will make special arrangements for you. But I'll be in touch with Damien and your mother and let you know exactly what the situation is.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. We return to last night's national debate. There were claims and counterclaims over which party had the country's best interest at heart. The opposition accused JLP of spending years undermining public interests and showing little progress on key national issues.
Can you be trusted to keep promises when you've broken promises on impeachment legislation, unexplained wealth orders, term limits, grand referenda? You've attacked the Integrity Commission relentlessly. You've undermined them. You have even failed to sign the Code of Conduct, basic principles dealing with integrity, honesty, selflessness, and accountability. How can anybody take your word? How do they know that those candidates who are under investigation for illicit enrichment are not offering themselves out there right now to the public, secretly knowing that they are corrupt?
JLP pushed back, claiming the PNP's criticisms are baseless and amount to nothing more than attempts at character assassination.
Fast forward to today, 2025, we have the lowest poverty rate, we have the lowest unemployment rate, we have a macroeconomic stable society, we have more companies registering to start their business, we have crime that has been the monster of your business, your personal life, down the lowest in 30 years, all by the policies of this government. We still have some ways to go. Our hospital and health centers have embarked on the largest expansion and build out. They left it as a disaster. We have had to correct it. We ask you on September 3rd, give the Jamaica Labour Party the opportunity to continue the work. We have done more for you than any other administration, and certainly more than the PNP has ever done.
And it's now time for the Business Minute.
Wisynco Group has acquired a 30% equity stake in Ringtail Holdings, the parent company of Select Brands, one of Jamaica's leading distributors of wines and spirits. In addition, Wisynco has purchased the business and production assets of Ringtail Bottlers Limited, securing exclusive co-packing rights for Stone's ginger wine and other products under the Select Brands portfolio. Now, under the agreement, Select Brands will continue to operate independently, but Wisynco will gain board representation at both Ringtail Holdings and Select Brands. Further afield, South Korea's HD Hyundai Heavy Industries, the world's biggest shipbuilder, said on Wednesday that it plans to merge with its affiliate HD Hyundai Mipo as it targets a bigger slice of the U.S. shipbuilding market. With the merger, the company said it aims to lead U.S.-Korea shipbuilding cooperation projects, highlighted during a recent summit between the leaders of the countries that Seoul has dubbed Make American Shipbuilding Great Again. The merged company will be launched in December. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has been pushing to revive the struggling U.S. shipbuilding industry to counter China's growing strength in maritime manufacturing and naval dominance. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
And here's a preview of what's coming up in this evening's Health Report. In this evening's Health Report, we look at gonorrhea.
Usually, it's more popular among the younger population. So we're looking at the sexually active population, adult population, young within the reproductive age at around 18 to 44. Not to say that persons older or younger cannot also contract this disease.
That's the Health Report in Primetime News at 7. And now for today's healthy living tip. Always use condoms during sex to reduce the risk of infection. Get tested regularly if you're sexually active. If you notice symptoms like pain during urination, see a doctor right away. Complete the full course of any prescribed treatment to fully clear the infection. Inform your sexual partners if you test positive, and avoid sexual activity until treatment is finished and your doctor says it's safe. It's now time for the top regional and international stories.
The Caribbean Community Climate Change Center has appointed Jamaican Mansfield Blackwood as its new Assistant Executive Director effective September 15. Executive Director Dr. Colin Young said Mr. Blackwood brings over 30 years of experience in regional development, climate programming, and leadership. He noted that Mr. Blackwood's expertise in advancing climate resilience will strengthen the center's mandate to accelerate climate action across the region. At the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, he will provide strategic oversight and technical guidance to the Program Development and Management Division and the Technical Services Division, ensuring alignment with regional priorities while advancing climate finance proposals and institutional targets. On the international scene, at least 30 people have been killed and many more injured after heavy rains triggered a massive landslide in Indian-administered Kashmir. Search and rescue operations were underway on Wednesday in response to the landslide, which occurred the previous afternoon near the Vaishno Devi Shrine on a popular Hindu pilgrimage route in the Katra area. The landslide was the latest disaster caused by heavy monsoon rains in the Himalayan region that have left hundreds dead and missing in India and Pakistan. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm O'Shane Masters.
Thank you, O'Shane. We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.